Atamo kema, kuke mayo, kuke mayo neme. Atamo kema, kuke mayo, Atamo kema, kuke mayo.
I want to greet you people to Ego Akure Palace. You can see Ego ADG, who's the ADG there? This is our palace that our forefather has built more than 200 years ago, before myself was born. Ego Akure has nationalized in Akure here more than 100 years and above. So we are very happy to see you people from our state. That you come today to come and visit us. May God give you long life and prosperity.
Sir.
Your children will be okay.
Sir.
Your wife will be okay.
Sir.
Your family will be okay.
Sir.
Any one of us that's in travel, will come and meet us in good condition.
Yes, sir.
So we are welcome. The second in command will be called Shere Osolisa of Akure, Chief Shere of Akure Land. Welcome, sir. Our father, sit down here. Chief Ibukun Ujo, the Elebikon of Akure. Our father here is Edo Akobu, the Akobu of Akure. I wish you are welcome.
Thank you, sir.
This is our man, the tourist. Chief Idowu, I'm not sure you the other presidents of Akure. So start from here. This is Chief Sunday Abe. The Sunday Ujo is the Olotu of Edioni Yeki, Chief Ibukun. I myself, I am the second today. I am Chief Apata Ganiu, Akayeshe Akure. This Chief Akiha, the Tope Akiha Yojegu of Akure. Chief Ajayi, the Ejemike of Akure. He was the son of the late Idonwere.
Okay.
Son of late Idonwere.
Yeah.
Who? Chief Oni Adebo. The Elemo of Akure. Chief Edo Kende. The Aruba Doye of Akure of Edonwere. Abdi Idolo. The Akobu of Akure.
Chief Adebayo Gani.
Chief Gani Adebayo.
Mayegun.
The Mayegun of Akure. Yes, Chief Benga Ubebo. Akure. Your father called Ubebo. We have estate. So Edo State, we are very many in this Akure. No, that's not we have estates. Level of water. There you meet there you meet you have estates on this side. Women, money from a good state, from Besa. because we are here, it's not good for our documents. We just left them down like that. So if they were cheating,
What did what better?
we know that those people, they have their accounts, people, which is the chief, Yalodi of Akure. Chief Mrs. IYILAWA Akure. The next Akure of Akure. This is our Chief Mrs. Wife of our GBD.
First Lady, the Odionwe and his chiefs, I greet you all this morning. Honestly, I'm not happy that I have to be speaking English. You are Edo people. We should be speaking Edo. But I know there's a communication barrier, so I will use English. But before anything, I'll have to say a big thank you for welcoming us and giving us audience in your palace. I'm sure I know some of the chiefs, the Odionwe, with whom I've been in contact and communicating. But for those who don't know me, my name is Professor IYILAWA USUALÄLÄ. I'm a professor of African history and peace and conflict studies at State University of New York, Oswego, New York. Some people accompanied me. Firstly, sitting to my immediate left is Mr. Godfrey Ekato Obogie. He's a lecturer in African history at University of Benin. Before I proceed further, there's one of you, Edonekwe. We don't call them Akure, we call you Edonekwe. And one of your Edonekwe sons, Dr. Shola Omoregi, is also an associate professor of education, University of Ibadan. When I decided to come, I met with there's an association called the Great Benin Descendants Association. Their head office is in Benin. I've been relating with them, but I'm not a member yet. So they've been working with all other people who are of Edo origin, scattered all over the world, even as far as Ghana, where they have settled. So they told me they would like to meet with the Edonekwe community here in Akure, and that is why they are here. I'm not able to introduce all of them, but I will introduce their coordinator general, who will now proceed to introduce his members. Man is Mr. Mavis Imaswe Izodua. Please.
Observing all as a standing protocol, acknowledge the Odionwe and all the Odions that are well seated here today. Today, I'm quite very happy. Before I do the introduction, I'm quite in the midst of people who inspired me to take up a course. One of them is Professor IYILAWA USUALÄLÄ. Although when I started reading at the Institute for Benin Studies, which is a founding member, I didn't even know him. All right, until he probably started interacting with me on Facebook. But as time progresses, And I realized that the person who's been interacting with me on Facebook is the same person where the little knowledge I was gathering as far back 2015, 2016, they were the one who came up with the concept that we needed to have an institute that represents like an archive of all the Edo historical materials. So he's a mentor to me. So I'm very privileged to do that. So I'm also privileged to do with my big brother. We also read together. But I went into business, he pursued more career in history. So he's the current secretary of the Institute for Business Studies, Mr. Prof. So if I have introduced another associate prof who is also at the network, but every other person here, by virtue of what our association represents, they are all members of the Institute. They are all members of Association of Revenue Descendants, including APAC, although it's not formally a member, but for what it represents. I remember 2018 when we went to meet with the then Oluwari, late Ikenwuli. We had wanted him to be the grand patron of the association. I remember he said that when it concerns everything that has to do with the Benin in general, nobody can be a grand patron when the Oba of Benin is still on the throne. He, as the Oluwari, remains the son of the Oba of Benin. So there is no way he can be a grand patron of association as big as ours. Why I'm saying this is because, by virtue of what the association represents, any Benin person, whether at the level of descendants or whether at the level of those who presently occupies a geographical location called Edo State, they are all members of Association of Great Benin Descendants. Why the Oba of Benin is the grand patron of everybody. So by virtue of that, everybody here, they are all associations. Some of the persons that followed us here, they are all members of the association, and a lot of them are also very, very inquisitive when it comes to history. Some of them have read the relationship of the Benins and the Edonekwe, who the Edonekwe are. But in their own curiosity, they wanted to also be part of today's meeting. So it's very divine. So almost every person that are here, they are all students of history, also defending the Benin cause. I will now further go into a proper introduction. Our association was established in 2017, July 1st, for one primary purpose, that wherever all the Benins are located, whether those who now live amongst the Yoruba group, whether those who now live among the Igbo group, whether those who live even outside the shores of Nigeria, we are going to identify them and now find practical ways we can work with them. We are not saying that they should leave their current location, but for the fact that we acknowledge that these are people exist where they are now located, we can always, tomorrow any of us can find ourselves in Akure, and when there are issues, we don't have any other place to go. They have to come to their family people here in Akure, and that's why this association is done. So we want to identify with our fathers, our mothers and sisters and our brothers, our people who have left Benin, their ancestral home, 200 years ago, 300 years ago, and want to use these avenue to let them know that we acknowledge that they exist, and we will do everything within our willpower, understanding how times have changed, to find ways where we can now continually to relate with them, and also take the message that we're going to get from here and take it home to the Palace of the Oba of Benin, and also now find ways where we can participate in their events, and also invite our people back home to also participate in our events. And we'll also now look at how we can also contribute. We'll also now look at ways where we can also contribute to the Edonekwe community in Akure, where we can also see how we can work together in terms of historically. Professor have already done the historical documentation that puts that relationship in perpetuity. Like we now know the history that connects everybody through his works. So these are why we are here. I don't want to go through names because of time, but every single person here are all Benin people, and we are very, very happy to be part and parcel of this meeting today, and we'll have a whole lot to learn. We'll have a whole lot of message for you to carry from here back home. So, but I'll just
introduce all the members.
Okay, Prof said I should do a introduction. This is our brother here, Ezomo Kakadu.
He said,
this is our brother Obasoge. It's also part of us.
he said,
This is Collins.
he said,
We have an Edo language teacher amongst us. So probably if our people are also interested in relearning their language, it can also help. His name is Masha.
Wahia Domo. Before anything, I said, I know you are prepared for this meeting. I'll first of all thank you for the cola nuts and the drinks. But I also feel that I should reciprocate this kind gesture of yours by offering this token to the community So this token of wine is for prayers and whatever the community decides to do with it. So can I now proceed to... Okay, the purpose of my coming here is that of presenting to the community the book of history of the Akure, which I have written. People do not all that know about the Akure. It's like they have been long forgotten. Their history is very little known. I grew up in Benin, and my grandmother of blessed memory had some Akure relations. She was not Akure, but they had some relations who were Akure. One that was well known was Owosheni. A street is named after him in Benin, Owosheni Street. When he comes to our house, he used to speak some kind of funny Edo. His Edo was never clear. He always mixed it with Yoruba. So I asked my grandmother, how come he was always talking like this? I don't understand him. He said it's Akure. Ever since then, it was in my memory as a child that there was a group called Akure. Then in 1984, I now went to school in Zaria, Ahmadu Bello University. I was passing through the corridor of one department and I saw one name there, Dr. Osazuwa. So I was happy, this is a Benin man. I knocked, he said, yes, come in. I got in as a Benin man, well brought up. I knelt down and said, Labo. The man was looking at me. I said, I'm greeting you, sir. He said, okay, I'm sure you are mistaking me for somebody from Benin. I'm not from Benin. Osazuwa is from Akure, and he doesn't speak Benin. So ever since, I've always wanted to know more about Edonekwe. And then the late Chief Tayo Akpata of Benin, we got discussing one day, and he said, look, these our people are still there in Akure, Tagbolu, everywhere, but nobody knows much about them. So I said, okay, it's a challenge. I will try to do something about it. And then Omonoba Nedu Kwakpolopolo, Obayediawa, of blessed memory, now wrote his book, I Remain Your Obedient Servant. And in the book, he also talked about the Edonekwe. When he visited Ondo State, he went around all the communities. He mentioned his visit to Itagbolu, Akure, and everywhere he visited. That also gave me another inspiration to do this book. And then the late Professor Sophie Oluwole, she was, her grandfather was the last Balikale of Igbaraoke. She also wrote about her Edonekwe origin. So this all inspired me to go start this research. And so in 2016, I got in touch with Dr. Omorigi, who is Edonekwe, and he said, once I'm ready, I should come to Akure. They will assist me. Then he took me to his dad. His dad, Chief Afolabi Omorigi, was very, very happy. He brought out books. He gave me books. The little he had about Akure, the Edonekwe and everything. And they became my host. He gave me his car and his son to be driving me all over the place. We went to Ikere Ekiti. We went to Igbaraoke. We went to Itagbolu. We came to visited a lot of people here in Akure to collect information. And then I went to National Archives Ibadan, collected materials, and then went to University of Birmingham Library and collected materials. So from 2016 to 2022, I was doing the research and reading and writing, finding out everything I could get everywhere about the Edonekwe. And to God be the glory, by 2023, I was able to finish the book. It's over 200 pages. And the book was finally published June last year. It's a history of the Edonekwe. I got in touch with a lot of people. Some of you here helped me with information. The book which I wrote, its date goes back to 1475. That's 15th century. So when you say you have been here for 200 years, it is not. You have been here longer than that. I chose 1475 for a reason. Where people have been settled in all these places, trading, warring, doing a lot of things. But they did not get organized. From my research, they did not get organized until 1750, the year 1750. And that is the year that the first Odion Way was established in Akure. And the person who established it was Akembo. He later went to Benin to become the Iyase of Benin. And from that time, you have been having Odion Way. So you people have been here and have been part of the Akure people, but you never became Akure people. you maintain your Edo identity, which something that makes you unique, doing everything to protect and maintain your identity as Edo people and not as Akure people. You have your own, you establish an organization with structures, a political organization. And similar thing was there is still there in Itagbolu. But in other places, they've started disappearing. So I thank you all for your resilience. It's not always been an easy life living here among people who are not your people. There have been troubles, wars. I'm sure you might have heard of the Benin-Akure War. The last one was fought about 1816. That was the last war when Benin people were killed here, and the Oba of Benin, Osemede, sent an army to Akure, defeated Akure. The Deji fled. He was finally killed by some Akure people. And a new Deji was now sent from Benin. Oshukpa was sent from Benin to come and become the Deji. And it was after that that a title was created by the Akure people for a chief to be the liaison between the Akure people and the Edonekwe. And the present liaison is Chief Doctor. You were powerful people here. And even the foremost Akure historian, late Professor S.O. Arifalo, who was my teacher in Ife, wrote and described the Edonekwe as what they call a state within a state. What it means is that you people were as powerful as the Deji. Everything, that is a state within a state. You were an authority on your own. You did not bow to the Deji or to any of them. And you have lived like that. And during the colonial period, the Europeans tried everything to suppress you people and put you under the Deji. You people resisted. Oh, Dr. Ogun, yeah, okay. It was finally in 1980s when Oba Ediawa of blessed memory visited. And he said, this is your home. Take it as your home. Work with them. That things started to change. From my own research and my interaction with you people, when I came during the installation of the Odionwe in 2018, two Bales were here. I heard one of them is now an Oba of Adofure and can't remember the other time. Is it Diata? Or Idiota. So, Idita. So that some of you now have started becoming Obas in Akure land. That I've also explained in my book why the Deji of Akure decided to take that position of trying to appoint the Adonekwe people as Obas. It's a strategic policy of not only trying to integrate you, but using the Edonekwe as buffers in order to retain land they regard as Akure land. So that I know they've had problems with Idonre and all of them over land. And so in those areas that border, they've put some of you as the KBC to help defend Akure. So that's the summary of why I came, and what has happened is that the book was published not here. It was published in the United States, and it's hardcover only, and that makes it very pricey. In the United States, the book sells for $105 a copy, which here is equivalent of, is over about 170,000 naira. I don't think people are struggling here to eat. So no one will put his money in buying one book when there are a lot of other issues. So as a result of that, I decided to come and present to the community 2 copies of the book, which I bought for unity, so that you people can read it and know your history and have access to your history. Thank you. So here are 2 copies of the book. Thank you. Yes. So something I have to say, I know when I had to do this book, I wanted to put a lot of photographs. I was allowed to use only 15 photographs. So please pardon me, don't be disappointed if you did not see your photograph there. I have a photograph here of your Ogwedion. Your Ogwedion there. I have the photograph. But deliberately, I did not show the shrine itself. The reason is for security purpose that I refused to show the shrine. So I only showed the shrine where it was covered with mats, so that people won't know what is behind the shrine. And I was lucky to be here. The late Odionwe, before this, I met him. He allowed me to take photographs of himself and of Irediawa when the Irediawa visited. So I also have the photograph here. And when I came, I also saw photographs of the women chiefs. Some of the photographs of the women chiefs, some of them dressed in Benin attire. And I also used that photograph. You know, in Benin, we don't have women chiefs. But you people, you are lucky here to have women chiefs. So I also interviewed some of them. And I also put photographs of those ones that are no more, and those that are still around. Okay, I was allowed to use only 3 photographs of women chiefs. This is one. I found the photograph here. The late Odionwe allowed me to take the photograph of a Bini dressed with the Bini Okuku. Then there's another one dressed in Bini Okuku. And finally, some of the current ones, including the Yalode Obirin and some of the old ones who were still around that I interviewed and I took their photographs. Then I was also lucky to be here at the installation of the Odionwe. And I have 2 photographs from that in the book when the Odionwe was installed. Okay, this is the Odionwe immediately after its installation. I don't know. I took him this photograph as he was emerging from the Ogwedion. And then the photograph of the first address when he addressed the Edonekwe community who visited. It's not only your Akure Edonekwe community here. I also have photographs from Itagbolu. Remember the late Pa Femi Ojo? He was here at the it's late now. So he took me to Itagbolu and gave me a lot of documents and showed me where they established. There's a place in Itagbolu, if you've not been there, it might be good you go and look at it, where the Akrue of Itagbolu buried a slave to help that town to grow. So this is the photograph, late Pa Femi Ojo, with the place the slave was buried. And so the book has documented your history for you, but it will also be good if you go beyond that, the younger generation, to try to also do your own further documentation. And I also draw attention to one major problem. Though I partly blame Ondo State government for emphasizing only Yoruba and not trying to do anything about other languages. That you're Edonekwe people, you have your language, which is Edo. I still met a lot of people, they still had their family greetings. I don't know if it's still done. You people did Igwe before, danced where and did everything. I don't know if you still do it, but I found that in Itagbolu they still do. So, but I've been to some other communities where they have disappeared. Thank you.
First and foremost, before I commence on talking and my appreciation, I want a very sound and applause to my professor. Professor, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Highly welcome you to entourage. It's a pity somehow that we have an elderly chiefs that cannot understand all what you are saying, but we make sure we interpret what you have said. But not right away now, not today, because we will not take much of the time. So, Baba, chiefs, Kabis, the professor has done well. He has traveled, made very, very serious researches to make that where all Edo Nepals, wherever they are relevant in the whole world, not even in the states. So he has made us proud. Because I was hearing some stories, though I would go to the book and read everything, that we fought because we were small ships in age. We fought with even Akure, then later we conquered. Then at the same time, I know how those things will be embedded in the book. So, just not to take much of the professor and the entourage time, we really appreciate you, sir.
Thank you.
So, I learned you are from Canada.
I live in both Canada and the US.
Thank you. So, I'm a Canadian. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Which province?
What?
Which province are you?
Toronto.
Toronto, that's Ontario. I'm just an hour drive from Toronto. I live in St. Catharines.
But now I'm living in Toronto.
Okay.
So welcome you.
Thank you.
To your place, whatever you place your hand shall be prospered. So to my chiefs and cabins, so our professor has made us proud. So proud, even to the world, not to this Nigeria alone. Because whenever whoever go to this book now and read it, you know we are no more a small person again. I mean, we educated. He made us proud. He made us know how big we are in this now. So may God continue to bless him this way. Amen. Once again, I appreciate you and your entourage.
Thank you.
On behalf of Cabinet, we welcome you.
Thank you.
Our joiner. So, John, we are talk about it.
Yes, sir.
Talk about it.
Yes, sir.
Two things now I want to talk about. First, just about a week ago, the father-in-law of Professor also wrote a book. which was also published about a week ago. Probably the most extensive Edo English dictionary. So, see what Professor talked about just now on some of the culture of the Edo people, when almost go into extinction amongst our people, notably the Akure people. The dictionary will also go a long way in reviving some of the names, some of the language, and all of that. So with the permission of Professor, and on behalf of our association, we'll buy 5 copies of that dictionary, and between now to 1 or 2 weeks, we'll find person who will give, may they come present her to now, so that from there, if anything one I want to learn for Edo and all of that, he did there, and it was translated. It's Edo English, so it will not be very difficult for people to understand. So that's part of one of the things I want to talk about. So we're going to make 5 copies of that book available in about a week or 2. Secondly, our association also will like, I remember during the time when, of our area of blessed memory, the late Ehagosa Aisen, he invented the Edo Iwu, the Iwu clothing, the cloth when Edo people they wear, when they say they identify, say all these people are Edo people. So that story in person, in tell me, during when of our area of blessed memory they do visitation from one place to the other, when some of the persons were not saying, some of the kings, some of the elites, when they tell and say, there is no particular cloth when they say they identify Edo people. So when Barrier don't finish that visitation, thank you visitation, he come, he now made it a national matter for Edo people. So whoever that can invent that cloth when Edo will wear, when everybody will accept, say na Edo. So that led to the invention of Edo, the Iwu clothing, which Professor also wear. So I don't reason and say some of the chiefs maybe will get the numbers. Then when we reach Benin, we will show those clothes when would they wear as chiefs and kings for here, when people will see they are in travel. So also the filming, Okuku and all of that. So we also make some of those things available. That one and 2. Then number 3, although na hurry now we take home. So but we also want to buy drink. We'll drop on behalf of me and my association. We'll drop 200,000. We can take buy drink. And so this small thing I just want make I add join. And again, we want to be relating with our people here very often. Anytime when I call us, we'll ensure say we'll come. And anytime we get program for that side, we'll also do all we can to invite them now, make them come, because so why I was say over talk for you.
And all the ships, you see, appreciates you a lot. That's right. Then, what makes me happy a lot more is that you say whatever you have anything to do at the end you be invite us. I'm very happy. Very happy. There are songs that I even hear is like me now, my mother's side is Otokiti. I know that name is sounding.
Yes. Forestry.
Yeah, Otokiti. My grandmother is the last born of that Otokiti. We have a very big house at this. We call the place very big.
There's another one Akure.
Yeah,
Ahead of
it's
that.
there. So I'll be in Benin just for once in a while.
Yeah, just one time. So I love to be there. So when I travel, when I was also traveling, you know, Benin people travel a lot. So they'll be speaking English. I said, oh, you are my people now. But I can't, it's the only I cannot relate with you. So we are very happy. Whenever you have something, just call us. We are obliged. So once again, we appreciate you.
Get my phone.